All right, let's just jump right in. If you've ever built a Power BI report, you know that feeling, right? You build these amazing visuals, all your data's there, but it's just slow. So painfully slow. Well, we're going to fix that. We're going to show you the real secret to building reports that are absolutely lightning fast.
I mean, it's the question we've all asked, probably shouted at our screens a few times. You check your DAX formulas, you simplify your charts, but that little loading circle, it just keeps on spinning. It's super frustrating, but I'll let you in on a secret. The answer is almost never where you're looking.
See, here's the thing. We spend so much time polishing the paint job, the charts and graphs that everyone sees, that we completely forget about the engine underneath. The real massive gains in speed, they come from getting the foundation right, long before you ever even think about what kind of chart to use.
To really get this, we need to talk about something I call the Power BI speed trap. It's this set of common mistakes that honestly even super experienced developers fall into, and it all comes down to how we structure the flow of our data. A fast report isn't just one thing, it's a whole system. You've got to think of it in 4 layers. First, where your data comes from. Second, how you build your data model. Third, the visuals themselves. And fourth, the environment where it all runs. If you can get these 4 layers working together in harmony, you're going to be in great shape.
So let's start at the very beginning, with layer 1, how you prepare your data. This is so important, because this is where most performance problems are born. A tiny mistake here can create a huge cascading disaster down the line.
Okay, so take a look at this. On the surface, this setup looks perfectly logical, right? You have one main query that pulls in your basic data, then you just reference it a few times to create some other tables. It feels efficient, like you're reusing your work, but this is the trap. And this is why it's a trap. See, Power BI doesn't run that base query just once. Nope. For every single query that references it, it goes back and runs that heavy initial query all over again. So in every refresh, you're hammering your poor database 3 separate times with the exact same request. It is a massive, and often totally hidden, performance killer.
So how do we get out of this mess? We use data flows. The best way to think about a data flow is like a central prep kitchen for your company's data. Instead of every report going out and buying raw ingredients, the data flow does all the heavy chopping and cleaning just once. Then everyone else can just grab the perfectly prepped ingredients they need. And you can see here how much cleaner this is. The data flow connects to the source, does all the hard work, and saves the clean result in one central place. Now all of your Power BI reports connect to that single, fast-optimized source. Your database gets hit once, and every single report gets a speed boost. It's a total game changer.
Now, another superpower in this data prep layer is something called query folding. This is Power BI at its absolute best. It's the magic trick where it looks at all the filtering and transforming you did and translates it all into one single super efficient query for the database to run. It's like calling the lumberyard and saying, hey, can you cut all my wood to these exact sizes before you deliver it? You always want your query to fold.
Okay, so once your data is prepped and ready to go, it's time to build the engine for your report. This is layer 2, the data model. You could have the cleanest data in the world, but a bad model will bring everything to a grinding halt.
The blueprint, the absolute gold standard that you should always be aiming for, is called a star schema. It's just a beautiful, simple, and incredibly powerful way to organize your data. All it asks you to do is classify every single table as one of 2 types.
And it's a really simple idea. On one side, you have your dimension tables. These are the descriptions, the who, what, where, and when. Think products, customers, dates. They're what you use to filter and slice your data. On the other side, you have fact tables. These are just numbers, the events that happened, like sales or inventory counts. They're what you use to add things up. That's it. Dimensions for filtering, facts for summarizing. Simple, clean, and crazy fast.
Now, inside those fact tables, you have a choice. You can be lazy and just drag a column onto a chart and let Power BI guess what you want. That's an implicit measure. Or you can write your own formula using DAX, which is an explicit measure. Please, always create explicit measures. It's the only way to guarantee that total sales means the exact same thing in every report every time. It gives you control and consistency.
So, our data's prepped, our engine, the data model, is built for speed. Now we can finally think about the final polish. These are the last 2 layers, the visuals themselves and the environment. And trust me, even with a perfect foundation, you can still create a slow report here if you're not careful.
Rule number 1, and this is absolutely critical.
Don't ask a visual to load a million rows of data when you only want to show the top 10. That's crazy. Use the filter pane on the side. There are amazing tools in there, like the top N filter that lets you tell Power BI, hey, I only need to see this tiny slice of the data. It makes a massive difference.
And rule number 2, you have to remember that every single chart, every card, every table you put on a page sends its own query to the data model. So a page with 30 visuals on it, that's sending 30 different queries every single time someone clicks on something. Keep your pages clean. Use other tools like drill-through pages if you need to show more detail. Less really is more here.
And finally, let's talk about the environment. This might seem a bit weird, but physical distance actually matters. If your data is on a server in the US, your gateway computer is in Europe, and your Power BI account is based in Asia, well, your data has to fly around the world just to show up. Try to keep all 3 pieces, the data, the gateway, and your Power BI capacity, in the same geographic region. It cuts down that travel time.
So we've gone through the whole stack, from the raw data all the way to the final pixel on the screen. But when you zoom out, you start to see that all these little technical tips, they add up to something much bigger. This isn't just about making one report faster. It's about changing the way you think about building analytics entirely.
You don't have to take my word for it. This quote, right from Microsoft's own guidance, just nails it. A great model isn't an accident. You are deliberately creating 2 types of tables, tables for filtering and tables for summarizing. That separation is the whole philosophy. It's the foundation for analytics that can actually scale.
And that really brings us to the final question you should ask yourself. When you start applying these principles, using data flows, building star schemas, optimizing your visuals, you stop being just a report builder. You become an architect.